Hello, everyone! I am Panty the Pants Helper, and have you ever thought of who your favorite SMG4 character would main in Multiversus? Mario, being the stupid fat Italian that he is, Mario just likes to mess around while playing, caring little about strategy and most of the times doing risky plays for the fun of it, which just end up making him lose a life for absolutely nothing. That's why Mario would main Jake the dog. Meggy is an extremely competitive player. She will get pretty mad and act toxic toward other players if she somehow gets outplayed. She is also pretty stubborn, not stopping until she achieves her goals. That will, however, just most of the time result in her losing focus and getting worse with each time she loses a match. But most of the time, when she's winning, she acts very high and mighty. That's why Meggy would main Arya Stark. SMG4 is not a very confident player. He usually prefers to avoid conflict and stick behind his teammates in order to even have a chance at winning. That's why SMG4 would main Raindog. SMG3 likes to do a little trolling when playing against his opponents. He would rather make his enemies' playtime a living hell than actually have fun himself, because his fun comes from the simple fact that people on the other side of the screen are raging their caps off. That's why SMG3 would main Bugs Bunny. Luigi is not known for being much of a gamer, but when he gets to playing he always somehow manages to pick the right choices by sheer and utter coincidence. He knows the right moment to attack, to defend, dodge, and protect his teammates, and that makes him the ultimate player. That's why Luigi would main Wonder Woman. Fishy Boopkins loves his friends. For him, getting to play a game means first and foremost getting to spend quality time with his favorite buddies. When the time to fight comes, Boopkins will much rather fool around and make sure that his companions are having the best of times, getting kills, heals, buffs, and the whatnots. Though everyone can agree that Boopkins playing is annoying as fuck for everyone present, and they would much rather not have him around. That's why Boopkins would main Steven Universe. Bob couldn't give two ovaries less about game stats, play preferences, and all that bullshit. All Bob wants is to look cool, give stitches, and get some bitches doing so. According to him, anyone else is just a nerd and not a sigma male like him. That's why Bob would main Jason Voorhees. Tari, we all know Tari is this world's greatest gamer to have ever lived, but we are also aware that her methods of winning are often seen as unconventional. Knowing that, Tari would pick a character with the inner potential to acquire some nasty and brilliant plays, being both innovative while also staying level-headed and easy to understand for a pro like her. That's why Tari would main the Iron Giant. Belle, while not being the very best at what she does, Belle does bring a lot of security to all of her sponsors thanks to her basic picks and conventional cookie-cutter strategies, unlike Tari's more bold and unique ways of handling gaming. That's why, based on calculations and infographics with little to zero substance when applied to practice, Belle would main Stripe. Melanie, being the power goddess that she is, Melanie knows a lot about power scaling and what it takes to achieve your true power. Whenever Melanie's playing, she's either AFK or giving it her all to help her friends. Melanie knows no gray areas or compromises. When she's truly playing, you won't stand a chance. And considering her life-lasting love for a certain axolotl, it's understandable as to why Melanie would main Shaggy. Psycho was once all about losing her head and getting lost in the heat of the moment. But now she has come to learn that being a character outside of some virtual dating simulator requires other emotions such as love and compassion to come to rise. When playing, Psycho knows how to be tough, how to be strong, but also how to properly protect and incentivize her teammates into doing their very best. Psycho has truly grown into being a natural leader. That's why Psycho would main Garnet. Mr. Puzzles thinks he's hot shit just because he watched every moveset video on YouTube that exists. He thinks he's all fancy when distributing damage to other characters with his flashy combos and swift moves, but when trouble comes knocking on his door he becomes what we call a real wuss. He puts on this facade of being all cool and not caring about anything at all when truly he's the one that cares the most, and cares way too much. Just to clarify, that's why Mr. Puzzles would main the Joker. Shroomy is a talented mushroom of many qualities. His motor skills are excellent, his coordination impeccable, not to mention that he is a natural sharpshooter with the aim of a hawk. He's quick at his feet, having great reflexes, and urging to get the most done with the least time possible. Most opponents will not even see him coming until they are trapped in his endless stream of quick and flashy attack that will lead them to their doom. That's why Shroomy would main Finn the Human. Bowser decided to play this game because of his son. To be quite frank, Bowser has no idea of what he's doing. He's just standing there, pressing some buttons from time to time, but somehow manages to carry his entire team due to his chunky character preferences that allow him to be a wall of defense for the rest of his friends. That's why Bowser Bowser would main Superman. Toad didn't even want to be here, but he was dragged into playing this game anyway. So he just picked a character that he knew and gave it his all to do the bare minimum while playing. From trying to cheese other players to creating game-breaking gimmick that legit made everyone around him quit the game from pure rage and confusion, Toad in a fighting game is a chaos god. That's why Toad would main LeBron James. Kaizo is all about chaos, the thrill of the fight running in his veins. He's a simple anime man, really. All he wants is some boom, some blams, and a whole lot of fist-on-face impact. Kaizo gets a boner every time he manages to sneakily cheese you out of a life. That's why Kaizo would main Harley Quinn. Karen is a single mother of 3 kittens and usually doesn't have much time to grind on video games. But when the time comes to let some steam off, she unleashes all the pent-up stress she's been building through her 9-to-5 work hours and completely dominates the playground. In all true, this is Karen's favorite time of the day. The time when she can wreck those annoying-ass kids that made a mess in the Starbucks restroom for absolutely zero reason. Considering her cynical view and attitude, it's clear why Karen would main Rick Sanchez. Swagmaster. Swag is not a very intelligent player. Let's just say he has the gaming prowess of a 10-year-old high on Mountain Dew and who has also inhaled a bit of Dorito dust. He likes to talk big and all, but he can be easily outplayed with next to little effort. When playing against Swag, expect a whole lot of spamming and a whole lot of cursing. That's why Swag would main the Tasmanian Devil. Chris Gordman is a man of service. He likes to put the work in. Whenever he's held responsible for a task, even if it's playing a video game, he prefers to act serious and be competent at his job. He waits for the right time to attack, react, and dodge, and does so without ever changing attitude. Some would say that if there was a video game version of real-life poker experience, he would be the GOAT. That's why Chris would main Batman. Jub. It's common knowledge that Jub is a wild card. He may seem all young and innocent, but hidden deep within is a ruthless killing machine that has no pity for the enemies he slaughters on his way to greatness. Jub loves to surprise his opponents with strats and moves he could not possibly have knowledge of, yet he somehow has anyway. That's why Jub would main Black Adam. Rob is what some players would call a nerd. Mainly Bob would do that. That's because whenever Rob is not drooling over corn, he is studying the various arts and techniques of playing a fighting game. From the platforming to performing combos, it's as if Rob had it all memorized in the back of his head. Whatever the opponent is about to throw at him, Rob is already corn steps ahead. But all that stored information does hurt his repertoire when it comes to the character he actually plays, leading to humiliating losses again and again. That's why Rob would main Velma Dinkley. Wimpu is a deplorable loser who spends most of the money he somehow manages to earn on strangers aka female streamers over on Twitch. With that said, that does reflect in the way he tends to play video games. Wimpu tries acting like a gaming nerd, is called a nerd multiple times a day, mostly by Bob, but is, in reality, just a smartass. He somehow manages to be overly confident while being extremely insecure overall about his pink-ass size when compared to other players his age and weight. That's why Wimpu would main Marvin the Martian. SMG1 and SMG2, being the meme guardians of a now destroyed universe, SMG1 and SMG2 have a lot of experience, and that includes gaming experience. They are aware of techniques far beyond this realm, as if pulling things out of thin air just to win the game at the least expected moment. That said, these two love sticking to one another, working as an inseparable team to beat all the odds and think as two heads in one. That's why SMG1 and SMG2 would main Tom and Jerry. Depresso is a deplorable loser who gets no bitches, is homeless, is both a Discord mod and a Reddit mod, doesn't take baths, has never touched grass, gets rationed on Twitter on the regular, stands Elon Musk, pays for VIP tickets at a Kanye West concert, follows Andrew Tate on all social platforms and likes every post he makes, is terrible at gaming, draws boomer comic panels, is rude to customer service employees, streams on Kick, and is an overall waste of airspace. That's why Depresso would main Gizmo. Frankie still doesn't understand much of the world. The things he has learned about outside his neighborhood all came from the internet. Some would say he has a bit of a brain rot. Frankie does not think that, however. Frankie likes to see himself as a very base Sigma male with a spark of Ohio Riz he obtained from looks maxing and mewing his way over to Ice Spice just like Baby Gronk, Skibbity style. That's why Frankie would main Morty Smith. Steve, there was no chicken fighter, so Steve had to be less picky. Steve thought banana go brrrr hee hee. And that's all for today, folks. If you want more Multiversus content, be sure to head over to our Patreon for an exclusive video all about it by clicking on this card on screen. Oh, and bye!